YouTube? How you feeling? How you living? What's good? It's your girl Francine. Today is Friday, which means it's Fact Friday. It means it's straight facts about what's really going on. Two things. Number one, apologize. I did not feel like putting any makeup on today. Just know, quarantine is kicking my butt, and I'm trying, y'all. Second thing, this video may be kind of short, but I think it's a very important video to make because I think today is a really important day. And it's Fact Friday. We get to straight facts about what's really going on. And it's also Juneteenth, which if you did not know what Juneteenth is, you are not alone. A lot of people don't know that today is a specific holiday or a specific day in history because we don't really teach about it a lot. And so that's why I wanted to make sure I made this video regardless of how I'm feeling or what I'm going through. This is really important to talk about. So, what is Juneteenth? So, unbeknownst to me, like I said, a lot of people don't know this. I did not know this, that when Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation into law in 1863, that technically did not free the slaves because it was the law of the land for Confederate states that were being overtaken by the Union. And because, back in the day, getting to different places and going from like the whole South would have taken forever, apparently took them 2.5 years for them to get the news down to Galveston, Texas to say, you're free. And there's been, different research that said they sent someone down, like a messenger down there, and they ended up getting killed. And that, a lot of people were just fleeing to the Union, and so they weren't actually, coming down there to free the slaves. But yeah, it took 2.5 years from the time of the putting into law the Emancipation Proclamation till today, Juneteenth in 1865. Which to me is crazy, because it took 2.5 years for something to happen that was kind of a big deal. And you can say, especially back then, people didn't want to give up the slaves, so why would they go out of their way to inform them that they were free? And of course, like Texas wasn't a huge part of the Confederacy when they were fighting in the Civil War, so they weren't a huge part of what was going on. And so for them, it was kind of like, that thing's going on, we ain't really worry about it, we still got our slaves. And it was like, no, actually you don't. Like I said, I think this is really important because we don't talk about this in school. The fact that I had no idea that there was a specific day that commemorated when slaves were finally 100% freed. Like, I knew that January 1st was a big deal because Black people, we have watch night service in our church when you go before, or the day before New Year's Eve. That's what I'm looking for, on New Year's Eve. And you kind of like commemorate January 1st, which was like commemorating the Emancipation Proclamation going into law. However, I didn't know, and I wouldn't know that if I didn't go to a Black church when I was growing up, but I also didn't know that this wasn't even the day that it was actually done, and that it took 2.5 years for slaves to actually be freed. And then there's even some words that certain people weren't completely letting their slaves freed even after this. And America has a history that I don't think we really talk about enough when it comes to certain demographics and certain shortcomings of our history. I mean, when you get to decide how history is written, you don't really write it to make you the villain. But it's true that we have some parts of our history that we don't really know about and we need to know about. And I think this is one of those things. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about, why is there certain things in history we don't learn about? Because, I say that Saturday, and I'll put my opinion in there a little bit better. But I did want to make this video today because I think this is really important to talk about. I'll put some links in the description if you want to read up a little bit more. But yeah, I think it's really important to stay informed. I mean, a lot of people, like I said, I didn't know until I moved to the South, because in the South they do have, like parties and people make specific kinds of dishes, and like, I had no idea. Like, I'm just in Philly, we didn't really learn about this. And I'm sure that most people who know about it in the South probably don't know about it from school. They know about it from family. And so I think it's really interesting when you look at stuff like this and how it is projected our history over time, because you know, it took 2.5 years for you to actually free the slaves, even after they was put into law. I mean, there's a lot of things that took some time that should have took as long in history, but that's neither here nor there. With that being said, I will see y'all tomorrow for Say That Saturday, and I again apologize for looking like I'm dying, but you know, I doesn't have it in me today. So I hope y'all have a great Friday and happy Juneteenth.